So before you apply your self-tan, it is super important to make sure that your skin is exfoliated, especially if you have old tan on, you want to exfoliate it all off. But even if you don't have old tan, you want to make sure to get off any dead skin, any dry skin. This is going to make sure your skin is super smooth. Don't forget to do your neck, behind your ears, everything. Just exfoliate, exfoliate, exfoliate. That is the key. And you definitely want to make sure that you're specifically using an exfoliating glove. And if you do need to do any shaving, it is best to do it the day before you tan. Even exfoliating, it's best to do it a few hours before you tan. So once you're out of the shower, prepping your skin is so important. It's probably the most important step, because if you do not prep your skin properly, you're risking your tan not coming out good. And let me tell you that from first experience. I've had lots of bad experiences over the years. I have been tanning for literally I think since 2015. With it being that long, I've gone through so much. I have had patchy hands. I've had dark orangey hands. I have had streaks and just so much happening, and just a lot of mistakes that I have made over the years. So I'm gonna show you guys how to properly prep your skin before your tan. Okay, before we get into skin prep, I wanna give a shout out to today's sponsor, which is Colon Broom. I have been loving Colon Broom so much. You guys know I've lost 47 pounds, which I always say is straight up down to a calorie deficit. But Colon Broom has really helped me a lot, just feel a lot lighter, because it does help me go to the bathroom regularly, but also it helps me feel fuller and just more satisfied, so that I don't get extra cravings and all these extra things that make a calorie deficit harder. It's made of 95% psyllium husk, so it being so naturally high in fiber is very healthy for your gut and just helps your digestion as well. So it's really helped support my entire weight loss journey. And like I said, just get this body snatched. I still got a long way to go in terms of my weight loss journey, but Colon Broom, it's helping me out. Not to mention the fact that it's helped me so much on days when I feel extra bloated. Anytime around my cycle, it helps a lot. And I love that it's sugar-free. So there's completely no sugar in here. It tastes like strawberry. It literally tastes like I'm drinking a strawberry juice. It's so good. You guys can actually get 10% off using my code AmyMacedo10. I will leave my link in the description box for you guys to check them out. All right, let's go ahead and get into some skin prep before we apply this tan. Because I plan on self-tanning my face, I am using just hyaluronic acid and a very hydrating cream. That is it. You definitely don't want to apply anything else. You don't want to apply any glycolic acid or salicylic acid, any exfoliating acids to your skin. Just keep it very hydrating and very simple. So when I first started self-tanning, I would notice that the tan would kind of sort of stick to certain areas of the skin, and then that's when you get those patchy, dry looking areas, and it's not cute. We don't want that. So what you want to do is you're actually supposed to have your skin completely dry, free of moisture when you apply self-tan. But on those kind of tricky areas that can get patchy and dry, you do need to apply some lotion. So I am keeping 90% of my body free of any lotion. Do not apply any lotions, nothing. Like I said, you want your skin to be dry and moisture free, but I am gonna apply some lotion on specific areas. Like this area right here, for some reason, tan really likes to stick on that area and just get dark and dry and patchy looking. So on areas like this, self-tanner will also cling to your elbow. So that's when you'll get those dry, patchy elbows, and you don't want that. So this is my favorite lotion. I absolutely love it. It's completely clean. The ingredients are amazing. I just love Attitude as a brand. So fun fact, this is actually the baby version, but it doesn't matter. Obviously, you could still use it as an adult, but I use this on Kylo as well because it just has the most amazing little faint scent. They use essential oils. They do not use fragrance. It's the good night scent, and it just almost has a little bit of a baby powder scent. A little bit. It's very hard to describe, but it's just such a light scent, and I love it. So you definitely want to pick a lotion that's very hydrating. I do suggest something fragrance free and obviously something with cleaner ingredients. So I'm going to take some of that lotion and apply it right to, I actually forgot to shave my armpits, in fact, so don't judge me. But I'm going to apply that right there. I'm not going to apply it on the actual armpit because I noticed that tan has a hard time sticking to the armpit because it tends to be sweatier and more moist there. And like I said, the best way for tan to stick is with less moisture. So you don't want to apply lotion to your actual underarm, just like that area around it. At least for me, that area gets dry. Apply the lotion to your hands as well. I'm actually gonna grab extra. And for me personally, I always need a little bit of lotion. I don't think this is for everyone, but I always need just a little bit of lotion on my neck, because if I don't do that, then my neck gets a little bit patchy. But definitely no lotion on my chest, because the chest is one of those areas where self-tan has a hard time sticking to, so you do not want to apply any lotion on there. You want to keep it free of any lotion and dry. Get them elbows elbows. I also always do it right around here. And then the most important part is your wrist. You gotta lotion your wrist because for some reason the wrist and the hands really do grab onto the tan and you don't want it to look dry and crusty, okay? So I'm putting hella lotion on there. Okay, now I don't know if I'm going to tan my legs today. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all because a lot of the times if it's winter, I will skip tanning my legs because my legs are not gonna show. I'm gonna be wearing pants, so why waste tan, you know? So I don't know if I'm gonna be tanning my legs today, but if you are gonna be tanning your legs, the places on your legs you definitely want to lotion so that it doesn't look dry is your kneecaps right here. This little area right here gets so patchy and dry if you do not apply a good thick amount of lotion on there. And then same with your ankles, like right here gets so patchy and dry if you do not really lotion it up. And obviously your entire foot, which I am hiding from y'all because I need a pedicure really bad. But you do not want to apply any lotion on your actual leg, just your kneecaps and your feet and ankles. You also want to be careful with applying any lip oil or anything like that because I've had it happen in the past where I apply like a lip oil or a lip treatment and the lip treatment kind of goes outside of your lip line a little bit. So then when you tan your face and then you wake up the next morning, you have a white line around your lips because the tan couldn't stick because you had lip oil kind of running down, if that makes sense. So you don't want to do that. So just use like a chapstick and I usually just apply it in the center of my lips and do that, and then that way it doesn't like go outside of my lip line too much, if that makes sense. So yeah, I thought I would mention that because that's something I never knew before, and it happened to me a couple times where I would have like this white line outside my lips and I'm like, this ain't cute, why do I have a white line outside my lips? And then it clicked to me, I was like, girl, it's your lip oil. So yeah, kind of like mindful of that. All right, let's get started with the tan. So today I'm gonna be using the Salty Face Tanning Foam, which is completely clean. I just wanna say, this is not sponsored by them at all. I do have an affiliate link with them, which just means that I receive a small amount of commission, but I don't have to do this video at all. This is just the clean tanner that I've been using because ever since I swapped out a lot of my beauty products to cleaner options that didn't have fragrance, BHT, just a bunch of different things, I was on a serious hunt for a clean self tanner, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think even existed because I was like, oh my God, I can't give up self-tanning. I love self-tanning. I love being bronzed and being tan. So I was like, am I really gonna be able to find a good, clean self-tanner? And when I do find a clean one, is it gonna even perform good? Well, this performs good, let me tell you. I actually like it even better than the one that I was using before. Like I said, it is completely clean. There are no sulfates, fragrance-free. There are no parabens. The ingredient that's used to make tan, I believe is called DHA or something like that. I can't remember, I'll pop it up on the screen, but they actually naturally derive theirs, which is really cool. And fun fact, it is made in Canada, which I'm Canadian, so I have a little soft spot for. But I also love that it comes in a glass bottle. By the way, can we take in how much I have left in mine? It literally is at the bottom. To be honest with you, I didn't even know if I would have enough to film this video. I need to re-up ASAP. What's really cool though is they do sell like a refill in a little bag, so you don't have to go repurchase the bottle over and over. This one is completely clear and does not have any color, which at first I was like, ooh, over the years I've been used to using self tanner with a color guard, and I always liked it because you could see when you're applying it. But honestly, I'm so used to self tanning that it's really easy for me to not miss a spot. I'll give you guys some tips as well to not miss a spot when you're using a clear foam. So the reason why I really love the clear foam is because it doesn't transfer. There is absolutely no transferring. You do need to let the tan bake for a couple hours at least, and when you do have a tan that has a color guard to it, you end up like walking around your house and you're afraid to like touch any of your white furniture, you're afraid to like sit down. Okay, so I have to address this, the smell. We all know, like if you have used self tanners before, they don't smell pleasant, which I have always hated. Like throughout the years, that's been like the #1 con about self tanning. I always hated the way I would smell the day after. Like even after you rinse it off for about like a day or two, no matter how many showers you take, you have that fake tan smell for a good day or two and you just cannot escape it. This must be a miracle. Maybe it's the fact that the ingredients are clean, I don't know, but this must be a miracle. This has absolutely zero scent. I've used self tanners in the past. You guys know I used to love Bondi Sands. No shade to Bondi Sands. I still love them as a brand. And honestly, I will always have a soft spot for them because I used their self tanner for years, but it did have a really strong smell and it was pretty sticky. So like for a few hours you're there like feeling a little sticky, you know? It wasn't extreme, but it did have a little bit of stickiness compared to this. I guess when I have it in comparison, that's how it feels. Now, Bondi Sands did come out with the Pure line. I wanna say that because I don't know if you might mention that that to me, but I did scan their ingredients and they are unfortunately not clean. So I do use the Switch Natural app to scan through the ingredients. Again, this is not sponsored by Switch Natural. I purchased the app myself. That's the app I've been using to scan through all of my beauty products and cleaning products. I absolutely love it. You can scan the ingredients really quickly and it will give you a list of the potentially toxic ingredients that are in the product, and it'll also link research studies for each ingredient that have evidence supporting that it's potentially toxic. So I absolutely love that. I will leave my affiliate link down below to that. Again, completely not sponsored. So I really hope I have enough tan to use this because I'm gonna have to re-up really soon. I don't think I'm gonna have enough to do my legs, which I don't usually tan my legs in the winter anyways because it's a complete waste of product for me. I wear pants in the winter even around the house, so it's like no one's gonna see it, so why would I do it? So in terms of the undertone of this, I find that it just has a natural undertone. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it isn't like that olive undertone. It's not. And that is one thing I do miss about the Bondi Sands. It is a really nice olive undertone, but the ingredients are just so bad in the Bondi Sands one. So I had to let it go, you know? And honestly, I love the formula of this so much more. But yeah, it's just a natural undertone. It is not orangey at all. Okay, if you're like me, I'm not even gonna front, guys. I sweat a lot. Like I low-key sweat a lot. Actually, I high-key sweat a lot. Like quite literally sweat a lot. So in the time period of me just like brushing my hair, putting my hair up, you know, whatever, I'm already sweating. So what you wanna do is pat your underarms if you're sweating. You want your entire body to be completely dry, like no moisture. So when you come out of the shower, preferably leave the bathroom, apply your tan somewhere else because your bathroom is like very humid from after your shower. Or you can do what I do, which is usually crack open the window if it's winter, just a little bit, just to let that like humidity out, and turn on the fan. That helps a lot. If it's summer, pump up that AC a little bit if you know you're gonna be putting on your tanner. Basically, the key is to avoid all humidity and moisture when you are applying your tan. You want your skin to be dry, honey, no moisture, okay? It is so dark and gloomy outside today, y'all, but let's get this tannin. So I always do my chest first, and for some reason, the chest doesn't hold on to tan super well. So I always like to do it first and do 2 layers, but we'll get into that. So obviously I've done this tanning routine a lot of times, so I've tested out the amount of product that I like. And the great thing about this tan is you really don't need that much product. So I don't find that you go through it a lot. So I've personally noticed that my perfect amount is about 5 to 6 pumps for my chest, and it just feels like a creamy lotion when you're applying it. Make sure to get behind your ears, but not just behind your ears. Bring it into that hairline. So since this does not have a color guard and you can't physically see if you have missed any spots, what's really important is working in small sections. Because I've done this so many times, I find that I can work in larger sections and like not miss a thing. But if you're new to this, definitely work in small sections. Like do your neck first, do the left side of your chest first, do this side of your chest first. Like, you know, just do that in smaller sections and you're not gonna miss a spot. But if you try to do a space too large, you're bound to have a streak or two that you missed. And obviously do your boobies as well. Only I would film this video when I'm literally running low on product. Like I hope I make it through this video being able to use all this, y'all. So now I will usually put whatever's left over on the underarms. And then only now when the mitt is kind of dry, like a lot of the product is gone, I will just kind of like go over the ears. Second layer. Woo, y'all, I'm struggling to get these pumps. So now I'll do a second layer of another like 4 to 5 pumps, not necessarily 5 to 6 like the first time. Rub that all in. Then I will always pat, pat, pat right on the center of my chest. This center area of the chest is so hard for like tan to cling to. I don't know, I think it's just the type of skin that you have there. So you can kind of pat, 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 and what that'll do is like whatever excess product is on the glove, you'll get like a little extra there. So now for the arms, I will usually do just 2, max 3 pumps. I actually usually prefer 2, just because the arms, they do hold on to the tan quite well, so they get quite dark. You don't really need a lot of product. Again, if you are a beginner, I recommend like starting in small sections. Even I still do this for the arm area, is do the lower half of my arm first, then work my way up. That way I can be sure I'm not going to miss any steps. If you try to just like do the whole arm, again, you're bound to miss a stroke or two. And then I'll always like go and like blend it into my chest as well. So now when your mitt has like barely any product in it, that's when you want to do your hands. So the mistake that I used to make was like when my mitt had a bunch of product, I would go and just apply it on your hand. That's the worst thing you can do because you're going to get very dark, patchy hands. So definitely don't want to do that. Wait until your mitt has barely any product on it because your hands really do cling on to the tan. So they just come out super dark. So you only need the tiniest amount of product. And what you want to do, open up those fingers. You have to get in between those fingers because if you don't, you are going to see the pale line of your natural skin tone versus the tan. And then you always want to do this as well because if you don't, you will see white streaks on the knuckles. Don't forget your thumb, and then when you flip your hand over, do this as well just to get that wrist. And then a good tip that I like to do, which is something my sister actually taught me, is to flip the mitt around on the dry side that doesn't have any product on it that you haven't been using and just rub your hands. What that's gonna do is remove any excess product. So this is a foolproof way of making sure that your hands do not turn out weird because we all know like the hands are the hardest part with tanning, and I feel like that's the part that a lot of people mess up, and I still do to this day. Like sometimes if I'm in a rush or I'm just being extra lazy, I will mess up how my hands look. So yeah, if you follow those steps, your hands will turn out good. It has literally gotten so dark in here because it just started pouring rain all of a sudden, so sorry about the lighting. But I'm gonna do my face now. So I like to use the Salty Face brush. This brush is perfect for applying your face tan. Salty Face actually sells a separate face tan, but I tried it and I loved it. But I ran out and I didn't find it totally necessary because I have just been using this on my face and really loving it. Using the brush definitely helps it apply very smooth. But yeah, I just go ahead and use the same foaming tan on my face as well. One thing you really want to do is make sure you go over those ears and right back down to your neck and jawline. Like blend it down. You always want to meet it. Like imagine as if you're putting on foundation. You always want to blend, blend, blend and meet the two so you don't have any harsh lines, and always brush it up into your hairline. And then another thing I like to do is after I'm done, when there's like no product on, I like to take the brush and go right into here and really make sure I am blending that out because the tan likes to gather in right around your nostril area. And then this is a step that a lot of people miss, and I used to miss all the time too. Brush out your brows after you apply your tan. Dry brush as well. There's like no more product left on here, and brush over your brows. Why? Because the tan likes to sit and collect right around your brows. So you'll get this like darker tan that just settles right around your brows. Anytime I don't do that, I'll get this weird area where the tan just is darker there and it sits and settles. Okay, so I normally always do my stomach, to be honest with you, because even though I'm not going to be showing my tummy, it connects to my upper half, so I like to just do it. I'm so bloated right now because I'm on my cycle, so don't judge, y'all. I am running extremely low on product, so I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough. But basically just apply it the same way you would everywhere else. One thing you want to do is take the dry side of the mitt and go right on your belly button, because again, the tan likes to sit and settle there, so you want to kind of remove that excess product. And lastly, your back. So I always do like the top half of my back, because if I wear like a tank or something, I don't want it to show, obviously. But in the winter, I really don't fuss about my back much because obviously I'm not really showing it. So for your back, this is incredible. You need to get yourself one of these little back applicators for your tan. I literally am like dry on product right now, so I'm not even gonna bother tanning my back. But you basically apply the tan on here, take the two little straps, put it over, and you can literally tan your back. You can even reach the bottom. So this thing is a lifesaver. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I am going to let this tan sit for a few hours. The good thing about this tan is you actually don't need to rinse it. This is a no rinse tanner, but I'm so used to over the years needing to rinse, and I just kind of feel like, I don't know, I like to feel fresh and just like I have no product on my body, so I personally do rinse it, but I make sure I let it sit for at least 6 hours. When you do rinse your tan off, it's important that you do not use soap or body wash. I've noticed that my tan tan lasts longer when I avoid body wash on that first rinse off. Obviously, you gotta use body wash for your showers, y'all, throughout the week. So what I'm gonna do now is I usually will throw on a loose tee because you don't really want any clothing that's like tight on you. So I'm gonna pop on a loose tee and I will rinse it off in a few hours, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow to show you what the tan looks like. Okay, so it is the next day and this is how the tan looks. I absolutely love it. Super smooth and very even. One thing I forgot to mention is that the thing that I love about this self tanner is that it does fade evenly. As your self tanner fades, I've had other ones in the past where it fades very blotchy. So you'll just have like blotches all over, which is not cute. And I used to hate that part about self tanning, but I kind of just thought it came with the territory. But let me tell you, it does not come with the territory. You can find self tanners that actually fade gradually and evenly. So what I mean by that is the tan will just get lighter and lighter every like 2 days or so overall as a whole instead of getting blotchy. So I love that. So in terms of aftercare, basically all I do is just moisturize every single day, which I feel like you would do anyways. That's the only thing that's really going to keep the tan looking healthy, number one, and two, lasting very long, is to keep your skin moisturized and keep your skin from being dry. I also try to avoid super hot showers or super hot baths when I want my tan to be top notch, because any form of like extreme heat in terms of like being in a hot shower or bath is going to strip your tan a little bit or just make it like a lot lighter. It's not going to strip it, it's just gonna make it lighter. So if I'm gonna, you know, indulge in some self-care in terms of like a nice hot bath, I'm definitely gonna do it towards the end of the week or towards the end of my tan when I don't care if I'm tan, if that makes sense. So that is a very big point. Another thing that I honestly find helps a lot is to, like I mentioned before, is to use lotions and body washes without fragrances, because fragrances and harsh chemicals, they do strip your skin. Like, you don't realize it, but a lot of these lotions and all these things, not only are they bad for our health and our hormones and everything, but they're also just bad for our skin. They really do strip the tan off. It's actually crazy. Ever since I've switched to cleaner beauty and skincare products, my tan lasts so much longer, and that is because there isn't fragrance or those like chemicals stripping the tan. So I definitely suggest switching to a cleaner or just at least a fragrance-free body wash and lotion. If you don't want to do completely fragrance-free, I suggest checking that at least fragrance is the last ingredient listed or one of the last ingredients, because then that usually means there's just a very small percentage. Or what I do is I use the Attitude body wash, and that one, it's scented, but they use essential oils instead of like synthetic fragrances, which is a lot healthier for us. I did used to go a lot deeper with my tan, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I miss having a really deep tan, but it's just super high maintenance and it's not the life for me anymore. Okay, being a mama now, I'm just like, I need things that are low maintenance, but I still want to look good. Like, I still want to look good and take care of myself. I think that's super important, but I can't have a beauty and self-care routine that is like super high maintenance. And having a really deep tan requires like 2 to 3 layers of tan application, and then you have to like, it's just a lot of upkeep throughout the week. So this is just a lot easier to maintain, but it's still such a nice like medium tan, and I just feel so much better when I'm tan, you guys, so much better. I actually want to pop up a photo here. This is how deep my skin tone gets naturally when I tan naturally in the sun. This photo is from like 2014, I think, something crazy like that. This was so long ago, but this was one of the last times that I actually tanned naturally in the sun, and that's because like obviously tanning in the sun, as we know now, is just not healthy for our skin. So this is like one of the last times that I saw what I look like with like a natural deep tan, where I was literally like laying under the sun to full on get a tan. Other than like me just naturally getting a tan, like walking, like this summer, you can see how deep my skin tone actually gets, and I absolutely love when I have that nice deep tan, but I still love this nice little medium tan as well. If you do like a deep tan though, the Salty Face does get nice and deep. You just have to use a little bit more product, but I specifically don't do that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys. Mwah.